Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Manny,
And my name is Brandon.
and together we are the
Nerdlot.
Nerdlot. Eventually we're going to have to get a lot better at that thing, man. I think, I think the chemistry always works so much better when we're like recording in person and all that. But for the time being, of course, we're using Zoom.
We are using
And,
Zoom, and we have an awkward guest right now who is not part of
very
our
awkward.
intro.
Very, very awkward.
We can
Now,
make it less awkward right now.
less-
You
That's
never know when
awkward.
a guest is supposed to. I mean, you hear most podcasts; they have an elaborate intro. You're like, I guess I got to sit here and wait for the ads and things like that.
Right,
do.
like the
Actually-
cutaway, because the camera's not on. Like normally, the camera doesn't cut to you until the actual intro, but here,
Mhm.
like here now, your face is like right there. But anyway,
No,
guys,
I'm gonna X him out in the post production. It'll be a question mark.
no, just leave them in like the main one, like Leo's the primary
Ooh, the
one.
Riddler? Want the Riddler stuff?
Just work
Alex?
over that whole blacked out thing, the whole deep, like I have FBI information.
Right.
Oh, like
Just-
deep throat? Oh, like your name in high school.
By the way, everybody,
Junior high.
for the very first time
My
here on
God.
the Nerdlot, we have a guest, right?
Junior high.
Right. For the very first, Jesus, but for the very first time ever, right here on the Nerdlot, we have a very special guest, a big friend of ours that we've known for years, like way over a decade now. Alex
Emphasis on
Lomeli.
big.
Alex Lomeli coming to us live from Pacoima, California, man.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
Hello,
thanks
everybody.
for being on.
this is the
Yeah.
sound of my voice, and this is my face.
Yeah,
That is the
those are-
sound. They don't match though, you know.
Yeah, to me they do. Oh, and by the way, he's also coronavirus free. So
He is, as far as we know. I mean, as far as all of us know, we may be asymptomatic, right?
yeah, asymptomatic carriers. that's what they
Asymptomatic
say.
carriers, yeah, little outbreak monkeys. Anyway, Lomeli. Well, by the way, I've always called him Lomeli, right? His
Me
first
too.
name is Alex, but let's call him Lomeli, right? Now, this is a
What works.
Nerdlot, and right here on the Nerdlot, one of the things we do is we like to pride ourselves first and foremost on being dads, but also being geek dads, right? And Lomeli, of course, is no exception. Huge geek. And so, I think it would always
He's
felt
like, thank you so much.
yeah, but it just seems proper that we have him on, especially tonight, because it seems like a lot of us are going through the same thing. Shit, the whole world, we're going through the same thing right now. Everybody is quarantined in their houses right now because of the safer at home order that was implemented a couple of weeks ago by Mayor Garcetti right here in Los Angeles, but then immediately followed by Governor Newsom in California. But Lomeli, we've been wanting to have you here with us for quite some time, and
know why.
but we feel like you'd be a great addition to come on once in a while and just kind of shoot the shit with us.
Yeah.
And especially because you have a lot of similar interests as us and all that, and we think that you'd be a great addition to, like, you'd bring some great stuff to the
Let's just cut the
show.
bullshit, Manny.
Yeah.
This is our podcast. You're our friend. We want to talk to you while we're on the podcast. That's really
and
the
plus
truth of it.
and plus it gets boring just talking to each other like every so often. We want to keep this fresh, right? We want to
does.
keep this relationship fresh. You kind of bring some new chorizo into the mix.
Soy riso, please.
Soy riso,
Longaniza.
longaniza, right? Just not Salvadorian chorizo,
Well,
right?
Alex is
But-
actually super nerdy because he
Yeah.
actually gave his son a Voltron set, which I think qualifies you
It's-
immediately.
It's just living your own childhood over again, forcing it on your kids. I mean, that's really what it's about. When
That's
you buy these
exactly what the
toys, when you
Nerdlot is
buy these
about.
things. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. You think Malcolm has a choice about what team he's going to root for?
No, man.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I may not be a
Come
religious dude, but this is as close as I'm going to get to indoctrination. That's for sure.
The thing
I'm just glad I put Voltron before Power Rangers. So he saw Voltron first, just like I did. Just like the human race should. You should
Yeah.
see Voltron before Power Rangers and all these other, like, oh, I'm a ranger guy and I have this robot that I jump into and then we do some crazy stuff. No, I mean,
Yeah.
you should at least go from the source. It should be at Voltron first.
Now
I
wait,
agree.
there's that. What's that other one? Is it a Gundam?
Gundam Wing.
Is that before
Something.
or after Voltron?
I just thought it was a hobby kit. I thought people had lowriders and then people made robots.
Lowriders. Oh wow, man. Yeah.
Well, some people do make robots. Those are the rich and wealthy. We don't associate with those here at the Nerdlot.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the things that Brandon and I, Lomeli, we were talking about last week is, like, how are we spending the time now that we're pretty much quarantined to our
Yes.
homes and all that. Yes, definitely. What are you drinking, by the way?
Hmm.
We'll go clockwise here.
What is
Hanalei Island IPA from
That's a
Kona.
good one.
Oh, that's a great one.
All
One of
right.
my, and real quick, I don't want to go on a quick tangent about beer. I don't really like fruity beers that much. This beer is delicious.
Hits you right in the fruit zone.
Hello.
Right in
No,
the
it
middle,
does.
right down the middle.
Right in the middle. Fastball looking.
Yeah. Lomeli, what are you drinking, man?
I got San Fernando Brewery's Wolfskill IPA. It's great. If you order before 3 p.m. any day, they will deliver at least by 7 o'clock that night. So you could always get one in quickly, and then you for sure have beer that day, not the next day, not anything.
That's what
like
she
that.
said.
So,
Get
She
one
did-
in, get one in quickly, and
Oh,
you
I
get a
thought she
beer.
was. I thought she worked for
yeah.
delivery.
So I put in one for like 4 of these, 4 of the Royal Roads, a stout, which I already killed. So just
Right.
stocking up and helping a local brewery.
Nice,
Yeah,
man.
and
Good for you.
yeah, and I'm drinking a Lagunitas IPA, and it seems like we're all drinking IPAs tonight, like a bunch of fucking hipsters.
I am
But
wearing
anyway,
plaid and I have a mustache. So
yeah, and I'm 38 years old wearing a Batman T-shirt. But anyway,
in front of a Batman
and this
wall art.
dick over here is still wearing his old college sweatshirt.
There it is. I actually
Yeah.
just had this on today for errands. I went out there just
Right.
to show the community I could go out and still put on some clothes. I still know
I
how
actually-
to go outside and get
My
dressed.
my alma mater as well, by the way.
Not mine. But I actually did put on pants and a belt yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, speaking of San Fernando Brewing Company, I think I've only been there once, and I was actually with you guys. I think
Mhm.
a few years back. I remember. I think my kid. I still had
Community
one
event.
kid, and she was like maybe 2 or 3. That's how long ago this was.
Yeah, she got a beer herself, right?
Yeah, definitely. Now she does, man. She's hairy, but but anyway, why don't we get the show started, fellas? As we know, the Nerdlot. It's in the word. The word is the nerd. So we always try
Word
to
is
find
the
out.
nerd.
Word is the
Word,
nerd,
word.
dude. That should be our slogan for our T-shirts.
I like that. I like that hashtag right there. The word is the nerd.
The word is the nerd. Word is the
You-
nerd. That's it.
I'm gonna write that shit
Word
down.
is the nerd. All right, write it down right now. Again, hashtag word is the nerd. But word spelled W-E-R-D, right?
How did you know that? I was writing that shit down right now. How did you know I was gonna write ERD?
All right, man. So anyway, we always try to infuse
My phone
anything
connected it to weed. Anyways, well, I mean,
Yeah.
because word is not spelled like that.
Yeah. So we always talk about things that kind of help us spend the time, but not only as dads, but as nerdy dads, but now especially under quarantine. So one of the things that we decided that we were going to talk about today, of course, is that a lot of movies are turning not just the big 25 this year, but the big 30. Right now, there's one big one that turned 35, and then that one we'll talk about later. Like maybe at the very end, I'll go ahead and throw it out. Yeah, but we decided that maybe we're not going to get into complete detail to each one of those movies. We're just going to talk about it really quick, give our quick thoughts, maybe a few anecdotes, and then move on to the next one. And maybe we'll decide that like 1 or 2 of those movies that we talk about tonight, they'll be like, hey, you know what? That particular movie needs its own episode. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that later on. Right?
I agree. And because we're recording on Zoom, we will probably have to break this up into 2 parts because Zoom has a 30-minute limit and we're too cheap to pay for it. The business version. So there you go.
By the way, we're looking for sponsors right now. So if you want to pay the $15 a month for us to get the pro package on Zoom, please do so.
Hey,
Well,
and
or
if
make
you're-
it 20 so you can get beer too.
And if you're working from Zoom, give us that package. I mean, that would be pretty cool. I mean, they should just make it free right now because of the coronavirus.
Fruity beers and asking for the package. Cool. All right. So,
Give me
Yeah.
all
So
the
what? You're gonna down the
packages.
list. It's gonna be it'd be
Oh, you
kinda
got-
cool going
all
down
right.
that list.
you got the list, Lomeli? You know what? We'll give you the honor to give us the rundown on all the movies then. Go for it.
From January 2000 or 1999 down, or what are we doing? Because
which
here's
list-
what I found. Here's what I found. It was a hell of a
Wait,
list.
you did a Google search, right?
Yeah, I looked through and I said, hey, what what movies are 30 years old,
All
or
right,
rather, I cleaned it up and I said,
give us the
what
one
movies
movie.
came out in 1990.
Give me the one movie on that list that speaks out to you the most, because I feel like that would be a
There's
super
a
long
lot,
list.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me one that speaks out to you that is an anniversary movie.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good ones, but
This
the one
is
that
good
really,
stuff.
the one that really hit me when I'm like, man, that's 30 years old and good for it to be here. Well, there's two of them. I have to see these two. Home Alone.
You know what? It's great that you're saying that right now because I was literally just gonna play this. Yeah, I swear to God, I had that lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big part of our Christmas episode. So if
Big
you're,
Chris,
Of
yeah.
by the
course,
way,
right?
go listen to that. By the way, yeah, Home Alone, crazy that it's that old, and it still hits, man. Like this holiday season, I watched it a bunch of times, and it's still like hit home. No pun
Mhm.
intended, or maybe
Home
pun
Alone, man.
intended.
Yeah, we were watching it again. You know, like I said, we did talk about it in our Christmas episode a few months back. Man, it seems like it was 5 years ago. But we were talking about
Pre
it, and
coronavirus.
right, and then it just I feel like the music to me is what still hits me emotionally from that movie.
Yeah,
Right, I feel
John
like
Williams.
that movie just stands the test of time. Aside from the fact that, like, you know, he probably would have done a lot better if he had cell phones back then and internet.
Maybe if he
Right.
wasn't like a moron. But actually, he wasn't a moron. He went to go
Yeah.
shopping. Hey, but he
Yeah.
didn't practice social distancing, or maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He went between the legs of some people on that.
Total. What a
Yeah,
Totally.
that's too
Chloe.
close.
Lomeli, is that a movie that you've introduced your boy to?
Yeah, I was about to say that movie hits the wheelhouse for a 5-year-old. Like it's right in his wheelhouse. He got all the
Mhm.
jokes. Like
Mhm.
obviously some of the things they said flew over, but you know, he sees somebody pull on a light switch just to
Yeah.
look up and get smacked in the face by an iron. I mean,
That kinda-
slapstick hits home right now at 5.
Yeah, my daughter, she's 6, and she's like,
and
you know,
35.
she had just turned, 6 around the time that she watched it, and she was loving it like completely. And I think, what's funny about that is that, everybody has their own way of kind of coping with what's going on now, passing the time and all that. I've actually been revisiting a lot of not only Christmas music, but Christmas movies as well. So I feel like maybe Home Alone is one to, like, watch even now. Right? Who doesn't need a little bit of that joy and happiness to kind of like fill the void right now that we're all going through?
Well, if we're gonna talk about joy and happiness, we might as well
Uh-huh.
jump over to Total Recall because that was the other one that
Dude,
was in my
yes.
Segue king right here.
For
Oh, but that Total
yes,
Recall, man,
you're gonna
that's the
take my
one that
job on this show.
So Total Recall turns 30 years old. It actually came out on June 1st, 1990.
Directed by Paul Verhoeven, right?
What's his
And
last name?
starring Paul Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Yeah, yeah, he did a lot of great movies. That guy, man, he did right before he did Total Recall, he did RoboCop.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So he did RoboCop. He's done Starship Troopers, but then unfortunately he went ahead and did Showgirls. Remember that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. But Total Recall, what are some of your early memories from that one? Because back in our day, our parents allowed us to watch pretty much anything, even if it was rated R, right? So we watched this movie as a kid.
Yeah, I mean that movie made me wish I had 3 hands.
3 hands. And we all get that reference.
Why, Alex?
Why? But for the sake of the audience, why do we wish we had 3 hands? Not just because it takes place in Mars.
Yeah, well, to get the movie, you got to get your ass to Mars. No,
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows like that movie. So much lines just come out of that. Just in general conversations, like somebody mentions something, and then every now and then Total Recall comes up. I don't know if it's just me, but that freaking Schwarzenegger at that time, man, he was on fire, and that was great. I mean, earlier that year, another one he did was Kindergarten Cop, which another one that I love.
Top 2 in 1 year, man.
From the director of Ghostbusters. But any Schwarzenegger movie is known for being just like a fountain of movie quotes, right?
One-liners. Oh yeah.
And one-liners and everything. And the thing is, anybody who grew up with Schwarzenegger will know them for the most part. But I always feel like when you quote lines from Total Recall, like you have to be like an ultra nerd from that era to really get those, right? You will get
Yeah.
for them, anybody will get like "I'll be back,"
Yeah.
right? And anybody will get is not a tumor, right?
Mhm.
But it's for them to like get like lines from Total Recall, like
How long have you been in
if
quarantine?
yeah, like
2 weeks.
yeah. So like if you hear like somebody like in the like at a bar across, and then like you hear them quote Total Recall, you look at each other, you make eye contact, and you're like, yes,
You give him
right?
another Schwarzenegger, you go, Dylan.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was just tearing
Dylan,
it up.
you
Back then.
son of a bitch.
My favorite Artie quote is "chill."
Oh,
Jeez.
God. You
Yeah.
always got to go back to Batman and Robin,
because
don't you?
it's the worst movie, but
Yeah.
it's such like a people will. It's one of those things where it's like you probably will be at a bar one day, and
That's
then
Schumacher Gold right
you'll
there.
see like a movie poster of Batman Forever or Batman and Robin, and you'll see is that fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was he fucking
But,
Mr. Freeze?
Right. It's like, where have you been? But what are from Total Recall, what are like some of your most memorable lines for that? Obviously, the fact that we need 3 hands, we know this. But like, remember Quaid.
Yeah.
Quaid.
Release your mind.
Right.
Release
That
your
one.
mind.
But my favorite line from that, and one that I still use every so often, when somebody walks into the room, like at a meeting at work, I'd be like, "Welcome to the party, Richter." It's just, I don't know why that line always just stands out. But every
How
time,
many times does it hit?
what
Every
I
time?
think, there's maybe 1 or 2 people there who will get it, right? Maybe 1 or 2, but there are these quotes, especially like these deep cut kind of quotes, right? That you've waited years for the right opportunity
Mhm.
to say that quote, right? To drop that line.
Oh,
And
I
then
have
and then
a
and
couple.
then nobody in the room gets it, and it's just like wasted. You feel like years of your life are wasted, right? But
Oh, yeah.
fortunately, Total Recall lines are ones that like maybe there's that one person in the background who will get it.
I'm sure a lot of people ended up seeing Total Recall. I mean, it's just, if you don't remember from your childhood, you were watching TNT at one point.
And it's on in the background while you're doing
Yeah.
dishes or something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you watch it on TNT, then you won't really get the real cut
No, of course.
of why you would need 3 hands.
It's because he wants a
No.
handful and to hold a beer. 2 handfuls and holding a beer.
I'm just saying, man. That movie,
Extra hand
that
helps when you
scene,
got 5 kids to feed.
that scene. You read between the lines.
Mhm.
So I had another movie that is similar to Total Recall, and it was on my list because Manny and I have been planning these, like kind of like movieversary podcasts, and
Mhm.
with the coronavirus stuff happening, we kind of has obviously stopped. Judge Dredd turns 25 years old. Came out June 30th, 1995.
I am the law.
I am the law.
By the way, it's funny you bring up that one. It seems perfect because Max von Sydow just passed away a few weeks ago, and that was one of the lesser good movies that he was in. But definitely, if you don't know who Max von Sydow was, he was I guess like the captain or what was it in that movie, and he ended up going in exile. But anyway, he was for a lot of people, his most memorable scene is character was as not Father May I.
This is going nowhere fast.
No, he was the main priest in The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Mother May I.
That's Father May I. That's from Repossessed with Leslie Nielsen. Never mind.
I thought you were about to pull the emergency cable here and just jump to La Bamba or something.
But anyway,
tighter reference.
Judge Dredd was one of the not so good comic book movies that we got from the 90s, from Judge Dredd to like Super Mario Brothers.
Comic book rendition.
Or video comic book or video game, right?
No, wait. Comic book hit because another one I saw on this list was Dick Tracy, which was another 1990s.
Dude, I remember seeing it in the theater, and it was so loud that my mom and I walked out. It was just so loud. Like you know, this was a time where we didn't really understand like bass and acoustics and all that kind of crap. My mom's like, "It's too loud, we're leaving," and that was the only time I've ever seen the movie. It was pretty cool for about 25 minutes, and there we go.
Mm. Yeah,
True,
but
true story.
even then, I remember watching that back when I was like 9 or 10, and
This
thinking
was like
Judge Dredd was
1971, right?
wait, which one are you talking about?
No, I'm making fun of you because you're older than me.
Dick. But yeah, Judge Dredd. Anyway, we're watching the asshole.
That's good. Oh, and look, another one I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
X-Men, the original X-Men turns 20, the movie. Now, it may not seem like it. It just brought, you know, we don't have to talk about it too much, but it's just like, it's crazy that how much time has gone by that movie is now 20 years old, the original X-Men that came out in 2000, July 13th, 2000.
By the way, X-Men from 2000, that is the only movie ever in my lifetime that I've watched 5 times in theaters.
Oh, man. I didn't
Wow.
make it. Alex, have you ever seen a movie that many times in the theater?
No, I've seen. I think I'm not going to remember the movie, but I have seen one movie twice. I said, "I'll go again. Let's do it again."
Back to Ourselves Fun.
And that was like years ago. I think it was just high school, nothing else to do.
Twilight.
I couldn't tell you what movie it was. Yeah.
Don't be a menace to South Central.
No,
Well, you got to
heard
remember, I was also a high school kid in a little town called Fillmore, California, where I couldn't get out of town. We had one theater, one screen. So if you're going to do anything, you might see a movie again. I didn't go that often, but I'm thinking
Yeah,
I
right.
saw Jurassic Park, the first one.
Now that's a pretty dope movie to
Twice.
see twice.
Yeah.
I can imagine that.
Front row even, because it
That's
was
a good one.
packed. It was, the whole town was in there.
Yeah.
7
But anyway,
people.
going back to Dick Tracy, you know, I've watched that. I rewatched that one maybe a year ago, and I think they just released it on Blu-ray, and I watched it, and you know, I've learned as you get older, you have learned to pay more attention to, you know, details in the scenes and you know, in the frame, and so I realized that a lot of the stuff, a lot of the movie looks very two-dimensional, right? But that's on purpose. I realized, I'm like, oh man,
Comic book,
that's on
yeah.
purpose, because it's straight out of a comic book, and it's like, you know, a panel on a page is very two-dimensional, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So I really, really appreciate that.
That's dope. The little features like that we don't get as kids, and now we
Yeah.
get as adults.
But now you're like watching, I'm like, oh, that's pretty awesome. Well done, Warren Beatty. Well done. And the cast in that movie, Jesus, that movie is stacked, right? But
Yeah.
what are we at? Al Pacino, Warren Beatty, Charlie
Madonna.
Cosmo. Yeah, Madonna, Charlie Cosmo. Of course, he was in Hook, and then like was a teenager in Can't Hardly Wait. So many people. Dustin Hoffman. You got Jesus, like Christian Slater. That movie was just
Oh yeah, I just
stacked.
right when you Mumbles. Yeah.
Mumbles.
Was his name Mumbles on that?
Dustin Hoffman, he was Mumbles.
Yeah.
You know, like
That stupid little, remember that stupid little polar bear recorder?
yeah.
He had a little spout. It was the polar bear's penis, but he opens it and the tape recorder was in there.
Yeah. Have you seen that one, Brandon?
No, but that sounds
Yeah,
pretty
you
funny.
walked out in 20 minutes. Remember, it was too loud.
Yeah, that does sound pretty funny. No, I told you I never saw the end of Dick Tracy. It's a mystery to this day.
That's why you need a detective like Dick Tracy for that mystery.
And it's
Right?
not a mystery. I just walk. There's no mystery. I just haven't seen it.
All right. So that's your homework, man. That you're gonna have to watch
All right.
Dick Tracy.
All right,
You know
all
what? That can be an episode. Brandon watches Dick Tracy for the first time.
Oh yeah, it sounds
And
exhilarating.
because
I mean,
maybe
We all got
half
we
an
all
hour
got
is
Dick
too
Tracy
much.
watches now.
Yeah, maybe because it's too much to watch or whatever, or maybe not enough material to cover a whole episode of Nerdlot. So maybe I'll throw in an extra one in there. I'll see a Dick
Maybe.
Tracy, a double feature of Dick Tracy and The Rocketeer. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you didn't give me 2 titles with dicks in them. No, save me. Your task is to watch all
He's
the
a
movies.
he's a
with
one dick
dicks in
man.
There is one movie just called Dick with Kristen Dunst.
Yep.
And
It's about Dick Cheney or
no,
Nixon.
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 But the movie's called Dick.
Yeah. Dixon.
Mm.
You know, another movie that turned 25 before we take a break, Jumanji.
Yeah, I just rewatched that recently with my daughter. I think it was like the third day of quarantine, and we watched it. It was I needed a brand new router, so I had to go to Best Buy, right? You know, they had the curbside pickup thing, and so I had to go get a new router. And then, like, while I was ordering online, I realized I'm like, oh, movies for sale, and I see Jumanji on Blu-ray for $5. Add it on.
Sweet.
So we get home that same day, we watch it, and she just loved it.
Nice.
Crazy that like 10 years ago, that was a DVD bucket, you know, $5 DVDs in a bucket. Now they're Blu-rays.
That's
Definitely,
ludicrous,
right?
bro. That's ludicrous. I know the top quality audio and video. You're like, $5.
Yeah, but a movie like Jumanji, it's pretty awesome. By the way, speaking of Jumanji, a little slight sidetrack here. I just recently watched the brand new Jumanji, The Next Level.
I was gonna ask you, how was that?
Loved the first one with The Rock, right? Really enjoyed that one, and this other one was kind of like, didn't have the same heart as the first one, so
It's hard to recreate that magic, man.
Yeah, because the first one took us by surprise, and this other one was just kind of like, okay, more of the same. Great.
Oh yeah. Now, I was gonna ask you that, so I'm glad you did it. We have 3 movies after when we take a break, that turn 35 that I want to talk about. On here, and they may deserve their own podcast, they may not. We got about like 5 minutes left for the time limit runs out on Zoom. Anything you guys
Really?
want to
5 minutes? It says like 8:49 on mine.
oh yeah, we do 8:45. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, so we have 8 minutes and 41 seconds left.
So we can still do one more movie. Let's do it.
All right,
Let me get more beer.
Oh, okay, so here's one that'll get Manny going for sure.
Hold on. He's deep throating something.
On October 20th, 1995, a movie came
Hold
out.
on. Let me get my cheat sheet and go to October 20th, 19. No, just can go first.
A movie
October
came
20th,
out.
1995. Hold on.
A movie came out that I think we might have talked about it on this show, but
95.
it's
October, you said?
Mallrats.
It's in the Do You Ask You universe. Correct.
I got it.
25 years old.
Mallrats.
Yes, it. Oh, you want an applause?
Since then, I've just been making whoopee.
No, sorry. The thing the froze right now. But I'm like, oh my! The fact that I got that, I'm like, fuck, I'm a nerd.
Mallrats
Snoochie boochies. Snoogans. Fly, fat ass, fly.
My introduction.
Weapon X. Sneakiny, snoring.
Actually, that was Clerks. My bad. I think I saw Clerks first, but yeah, Mallrats was, man, top notch.
That is a movie that it's very easily quotable a lot, so much, right? It's like, you see that guy? That's just a great guy in an Easter Bunny suit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, if anybody else younger saw that right now, it's like, yeah, it would be hard for them to buy. Like, who goes to the mall? It's like,
yeah, and I was telling
who hangs at the mall?
Amazon Rats.
I just watched this new one, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. And he's like, well, how do you like it? I'm like, well, as somebody who likes those jokes from those kind of movies, great. But the jokes have not evolved. So what you're going to get in Jay and Silent Bob reboot is exactly what the kind of jokes that you would get in Mallrats, which I like. But now it's kind of like you would think that they would evolve a little bit, but it's pretty much the same kind of jokes, right? But at the time you're watching this and I'm like, oh my God, this is genius talking about this stuff. Oh, like what? Like in the back of a Volkswagen, things like that. But my cousin Walter was jerking off in public once. True story. Like when he's talking about the plane scene and all that. And yeah, that movie at its time, it's great. But you watch it now and man, it's like it is 90s AF, right?
Oh yeah,
the
dude.
Wardrobe, the hairstyles, everything. Just everything.
Like when you catch Airheads.
Even Shannon Doherty's in it, right? That's
classic.
How 90s it is.
Yeah.
Classic Airheads reference.
Airheads.
Right there. Oh man.
Favorite line from that movie is like, "What are you thinking about? Swimming pools."
Just bobbing around like a little egg,
Put your monster away. Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler, and Brendan Fraser. Wow.
He wipes his ass with his record contract.
Wow. Airheads.
Here, since we're on the 25-year mark before we hit 35, Toy Story turned 25 this year too.
Okay.
I mean, it just obviously with Toy Story 4 coming out, it just doesn't feel like that movie is old at all. It just really doesn't. Like but it came out in 1995, dude. Like,
No, that's a timeless movie. I mean, again, with my kids, with my son Bastion, he's the one old enough to watch movies and get them. Like he sees that it's not dated. It's just it's always that feeling. Like you always, when you were a kid, you always thought your toys were alive behind your back, talking shit. I mean, that's just the way it
like,
is.
what kind of toys do you have?
My toys still come alive by vibrating.
Oh God! Oh my God!
We're in quarantine. Leave me alone. What do you want? No, what do you want? We're in quarantine.
What kind of microphone is that? No.
At least backhand it.
It's quarantine. Give him some time to try new things. And on that note, let's take a break. Let's regroup, and then we'll
let's regroup.
Let's regroup.
Let's regook. What?
Hey, whoa,
What?
whoa!
I said goop.
And we'll talk about the 3 movies that are turning 35, at least on my list, and any other thing you guys want to talk about.
Pink or blue?
Blue. No, pink. Pink, black.
We should just hold them up and that'll be like our screenshot.
Dude, we should just get sponsored by Stizzy. Maybe they can pay for the Zoom.
Snoogans.
Or Jay and Silent
Interesting
Bob.
Interesting story with that Stacey right there that Manny has. We'll get into that later.
Yep.
That was like serendipitous how he has that.
Okay. It'll be a little tease, couple of tease,
serendipitous,
classic movie tease, little Stizzy tease, and we'll be right back.
And welcome back. Now we decided to take a little break right now. I know one of you, I'm not going to say which one, but one of you had to poop. I myself had to go switch the laundry around, and my house, it has one of those detached garages. And I didn't realize that it is pouring outside right now, man.
Oh, dude, it's crushing it.
Yeah. All right. By the way, it's good that we're back because while we were on our break, not only was I scratching my balls a little bit, but I came across a story that I think somehow would seem appropriate to read here on the show.
What up?
This is the headline.
Ballskin?
It was just posted 2 hours ago. The headline is, one arrested in family dispute over toilet paper in Santa Clarita Valley. One person was arrested following a family dispute over toilet paper in the Santa Clarita Valley, authorities said on Tuesdays.
Bro, you used all the toilet paper. Shut up, Mom.
The relatives were arguing because one believed another hid the household toilet paper, a precious commodity in a country rattled by the coronavirus. Deputies say that the feud escalated into physical brawl, resulting in the arrest of one of the family members involved. The sheriff's officials were unable to provide further details on the arrest.
Mike and Karen just have to calm down.
I think so, man.
Santa Clarita, man.
Mike and Karen.
Karen.
Whole freaking valley of Mike and Karen.
Mike and Karen.
It's also like that story pisses me off too because it's the press saying, "Oh, toilet paper is it's not a rare commodity. Like it's just when everybody goes and buys something at the same time, it's going to be."
It is to a lot of people, though. It's to a lot of people. You know
what boggles my mind? Toilet paper is relatively new.
Oh, and like
in your life?
No, like in collectively. You think there was Charmin Ultra in the Roman Empire? Like people were using other things for a while. I think people just got to maybe look back.
Everybody knows it was Charmin Caesar back then.
Yeah, and plus in the Middle Ages they used to use the 3 seashells, right?
Yeah, it was 3 seashells. Yeah.
I think it was the good old
Sir Simon Phoenix.
I think it was. We're talking about this thing right here.
Or they would just use cloth, right?
Cloth. Yeah, it's true.
I don't know, a slave's face, something.
I mean, but if I was a Roman Empire, I would have just had like all these maidens just licking my butt clean.
Look, the point is they weren't mass producing toilet paper back in the day. So it's kind of dumb that we're so dependent on one type, this is what we use now. I mean, no, a lot of societies don't use toilet paper in general. And I mean, I'm not saying go get a bidet, but I'm just saying maybe it's time to not be so chained down to.
You can say get it
one way.
Now, which begs the question: how long has Fillmore been around?
1888.
Kid, man. But anyway, this right here,
You know
okay?
your
So,
history in film, more, dude.
Brandon says this just proves that the media is like, hyping up toilet paper, and to me, it's just proving once again that the Santa Clarita Valley is indeed redneck
Garbage.
fuck.
Hey, don't diss my future home, maybe.
Jesus Christ!
Hey, man, if home
you can't
prices,
live under Viper, dude.
if you move up there, I'm never gonna visit you. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, we can just do it this way.
Yes, yeah, because I remember years ago I was actually up in Santa Clarita Valley and I saw somebody driving a truck and had a Confederate flag just like freely out, and I'm just like, so this was what this place is all about. Cool. That and Hurley.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so like I said, there's 3 movies.
Yeah.
That turned 35 this year because we're all old now. And that means that these movies came out the year that I was born. So.
Yeah, you're the young buck here.
I'm the young buck here, yeah. And you can tell, but you couldn't tell on my hairline though. It's really, really getting there.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for that. Can you guys guess one of the movies that turns 35 this year?
Let's see.
2 of them star the same person, so that's a really good giveaway.
Let's see.
Oh, well, that's a little bit easier.
Hold on.
Our last conversation, we're talking about 1990 movies, so 35 is going to be 85. 85 was just a murderer's row of movies.
Dude, Murderer's Row, that was a fucking 2070 Yankees of movies, essentially. Robert Zemeckis, motherfucker.
I think he's on hold.
Now this deserves its own podcast because I love this movie. I treasure it with like a lot of the fibers of who I am as a person. I love this movie.
This deserves its own episode.
100%.
We shall do.
And the
Not
intro.
only do we have to talk about that, but we have to do parts 2 and 3. We got
the intro. No, of course we do. And the intro to number 2 is maybe one of the best intros to me because as a kid, when that movie came out, like in 80s, maybe it was like 90, 89, whatever. Like pretending you're flying through space in a DeLorean or flying through the clouds in the DeLorean, like that was just really sick to me. But anyways, yeah, that was correct. Alex, what's your guess? That's one of them. That's one of them.
Yeah. Oh, it was Back to the Future.
Yes, I know, but can you guess the one of the other ones that I was talking about?
Oh,
back in 85. Wait,
no, I said 85. Alex. Shut up.
Oh shit.
No, I know how your brain works. You're just gonna rattle off like 16 movies in a row.
Yeah, but 85 was a lot of good movies.
Oh, come on, Alex.
It was Goonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Goonies turns. Let's see when that movie actually came out for the first time. So the Goonies, June 7th, 1985. So,
what movie came out like 35 years or 30 years ago today? Like any, I mean, I guess it fucking really falls on what's going to be a Friday or something like that. But I guess what movie's the birthday? Who has a birthday today?
Today?
I don't know.
No.
Or like this week?
I guess this week, would be the best thing to do, right? It'd be the closest.
Look, the closest thing we can do, because we actually, well, it doesn't turn 35, but it turns 30. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original, the live action, the one that's on Netflix right now, that you can watch right now. Exactly. 30 seconds late, dude.
No, I knew you were going through that one in 1990, but in 1985, I'm going to say another big classic, just as big as Back to the Future. I'm going to have to say, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Commando.
I see your Commando, and I raise you Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf.
You know what? Situation. You know, now that I think about it, you're definitely a Styles.
Thank you. Teen Wolf came out August 23rd, 1985. And so I had all listed these like
summer classic.
Exactly. We were going to do like a podcast about them. And all this world has just been so turned upside down, we just haven't really had a chance to really do anything. But like, dude, it's just crazy that these movies are turning like 35 years old. Like, you know, these movies are so that those movies came out the same year that I was born. So it's like, not that that means anything. It's just that shows you how old you are, and it's crazy.
It's for damn sure. I mean, I'm just surprised on some of the music that pops up when I
Hey guys,
hold on.
go ahead and take it away. Keep talking right now. I just got to step away for like 1 minute. I'll be right back. Go ahead and keep talking. It's fine.
He has to finish his whites.
Yeah.
Speaking of poops, who's got a poop now?
What were we saying though?
I don't know. I don't.
God, music! What a momentum killer this guy is.
Music. You're talking about
music. Yeah, of course. So yeah, I'll go in and I'll look at a playlist or something, just on Apple Music, just seeing what's around. And then I just started listening to music, and then I realized, oh yeah, this is a great song. I remember it from high school. And then I just kind of look into it. I see when the album came out. I'm like, are you shitting me? Was that really like almost 20, 30 years ago? I mean, it's nuts, but we don't ever consider ourselves old. Is it the main thing? You know, we like to take ourselves away from time a bit and just sit like, yeah, you know.
Well, dude, one of the first albums I ever bought was in 1999, which is 20 years ago.
Oh, man.
And that was Anima of the State by Blink-182. So, I mean, it's going to happen. That's what you want, right? You eventually, like, you want to be considered old because that means you got to live their full life. So, I
still remember the first tape I bought. I bought a tape.
Hell yeah, dude.
And it was, I shouldn't have bought it. I shouldn't have been allowed to buy it. It's just, like I said, small town, lacks, I just want to make a sale kind of thing. This small little shop is trying to stay alive in this small town. So yeah, I'll sell this tape to this kid. The guy sold me.
What was the tape?
He sold me the tape for Warren G's G-Funk era. Dude,
nice, dude.
I was in elementary school buying this thing.
You bump some Warren G. That's what's up. And that's the beauty of it. Like back then, like you can, you know, stumble across like an old tape or an old VHS and like just get taken away
have
into
it around somewhere.
Like get taken away into that world. And now it's a little bit different. You know, I remember my mom rented Don't Be a Menace for me and my little brother when that movie came out. And we were like,
my son's like hip hop.
We were 100% not ready for that movie, but at the same time, we were 100%. Yeah, you know, you're right. Nobody was ready for that fucking movie, dude. That movie was a trip. Maybe one of my favorites. Maybe one of my favorites. Looking back, oh my god, oh, it's just Manny.
It's a close up of that freaking fur baby he has on his chin.
You guys are not coronavirus safe right now, man. Their CDC is recommending mustaches and or no facial hair.
None. But I finally just started slacking on it. I've been shaving regularly.
I feel like that's if you're like in the front lines, if you're like fighting the virus and shit.
Yeah, if you're in the front lines, yeah, definitely. By the way, I'm back.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, my 6-year-old woke up and I was helping her go back to bed.
She just wants to be on the podcast, dude. One day we'll get her on.
I think she'll be good.
She would be good. She knows her stuff, bro. Hell yeah.
She knows how to talk about movies, man. But anyway, what'd I miss?
We were just talking shit about you.
Okay, carry on.
Just amazing ourselves by the fact that we're aging is really what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you guys were talking about Teen Wolf. That's another great one.
We barely even talked about it during when you were gone. But yeah, Teen Wolf was one of the other ones that turns 35. Yeah, fun stuff.
Let's see. I'm looking at that list that you sent me earlier. Hold on.
Oh man, we pretty much went through it. There's some older movies on here because there were some movies that I had that just like missed a cut. You know, for example, Young Frankenstein turns 46 this year, and I was looking for like on the scale of like either 25 years, 35 years, 0 to 5 years, but we can give a shout out to that
milestone type years. Yeah.
Well, because if we're giving Mel Brooks a shout out, Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles both turned 46. Not only he released those two movies in 1974, Blazing Saddles was released in February 7th, 1974, and it was Young Frankenstein is December 15th, 1974. You guys have you've seen both of those, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Classics. 1000%. So you
Oh.
think about that, like those are in the 40s now, man, and they still hold their weight, man. You can pop on Young Frankenstein, and that's just, man, some slapstick, stupid humor. It doesn't even look like it's funny.
Abby Normal.
Abby Normal. Walk this way.
You
Come
know,
on.
these
Come
are all
on.
movies. These are all movies that were made when, you know, people weren't, I don't know, looking at analytics. You know, it's like,
What's
all right,
funny?
this kind of movie's gonna sell the best. You know, no, it's like, all right, we'll make a good movie. All right, well, here's money, because studios are just throwing money at fucking people at those times, and they were making good movies. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, there's this thing called Excel, and then they started just seeing like how money does where, and then now movies are just really an algorithm.
But it's not on Excel. We can't make it.
You know, Warner Brothers recently released something about how pretty much they're going to use AI to determine what gets greenlit based on, you know, what's popular and what they think as far as like the outlook's going to be and that sort of thing.
Nothing like math to tell me what I like.
Yeah, man, and that's how radio stations work too, man. They play not so much, you know, where it was before. I mean, to an extent, it is still where like they tell you what is popular, right? And that they're telling you these are the songs, these are the top 10 songs that you're gonna like, and you're gonna like these are gonna be your favorite for this week, right? But now it's actually like pretty much a computer using an algorithm based on mentions on tweets and social media. Whatever comes up the most, those are the artists that they're gonna push more. Yeah, you know, and it's proof that, like, you know, just because it's popular doesn't necessarily mean it's good. I mean, keep in mind that there was a time when slavery was popular, but, you know, didn't make it a great fucking idea, did it?
That's 2 slave mentions on this podcast, by the way.
What was the other one?
Alex said something about
using. It was more of an indentured servant kind of mention.
Oh, so like our people, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if I say it in the next like 10 minutes and we do the trifecta, bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, man.
Jeez, this list, just seeing, I'm still like on the 30-year-old. I mean, Rocky 5.
Jeez, let's not talk about
Rocky
that
5.
Dances with Wolves.
Okay, but since we're already talking about Rocky 5, no.
Yeah. No, I'll go back. I'd rather talk. I'm just these
keep
quintessential movies.
Keep reading the list. Keep reading the list. I'm curious now.
The 30-year-olds?
Yeah.
Misery.
No, the other 30-year-olds. The 30-year-old, the other 30-year-old in the other tab. I'm just kidding, obviously.
Edward Scissorhands turns 30.
Shit.
Oh,
okay.
shit. Oh, that's right. Wow, how did I miss that one?
Dude, Look Who's Talking. Do you think that movie...
No, that was 2, though. Look Who's Talking 2.
I know, but do you think that movie would draw an audience today?
On Netflix.
I'm still a Bruce Willis fan.
Who would play Bruce Willis in the remake of Look Who's Talking?
They'd probably get, what's his name?
They get that one dude that played Thor, Chris Hemsworth or something.
Oh.
Or Chris Pratt.
The voice, yeah. It'd be somebody like that. Somebody more kind of animated.
Seth
what's
Rogen?
his name? No, well, on Silicon Valley, he was the crazy-haired guy, that comedian.
Oh,
he has very curly hair.
Yes. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I forget his name too.
Yeah, just these recent comedians have been doing like a voiceover work and stuff. Yeah, they'd get it. They'd give it to one of those kind of guys. Paul Rudd, maybe, if they're going to throw it at a big name.
Would it be an animated movie?
No, that Boss Baby took that.
Who would? And then like the girl, then Look Who's Talking to, the girl would be played by like Anne Hathaway or something.
Yeah, right. Because most likely, especially if Disney remakes it, then yeah, for sure, it has to be like Hathaway.
Well, Look Who's Talking. No, that's a
dude,
that would
Goodfellas.
Be a Sony, that would be a
30 years
Sony
old.
flick. Goodfellas, 30 years old. That's right, 1990. One of the.
Well, yeah, I focus on nerdy movies, but yeah, there's if we expand the range, there's a lot of movies.
No,
obviously.
but Goodfellas has a fan base, man. I think.
Yeah, no shit. Every movie does.
Yeah. There are movies who geek out about. There are people who geek out about Martin Scorsese movies, especially
including Martin Scorsese himself.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Tremors. Jeez, I mean, the list goes on. 1990.
Tremors. That's on Netflix, I think. Yeah.
Interesting. That'd be
I
dope.
actually not long ago did I go to Independence, like up in up in California, where they
All right.
filmed that.
What you got?
And another great one that, I mean, not a great movie, but just a good, terrible movie from back then. Men at Work.
Emilio.
Emilio S. Golf clap.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, dude, the 90s were pretty stacked. I remember with a lot of the movies.
When I hear Emilio, I think of A Night at the Roxbury.
Emilio.
I think that was like in 95.
He's the best, like,
Like
twice or third removed celebrity story that you've ever heard. Problem Child. Problem Child was 1990.
You know what
Smiley
turns
Pies.
just turned 25? Clueless.
Oh, dude, nice.
Clueless turned 25, man. Which
That was a
means
good.
all
It
those
always felt like
people
a
who
chick
were
movie, but
supposedly
it's
in
a chick
high
movie I
school then,
liked.
they're probably like all like, have teenage kids now.
Oh,
Or
dude, even
who are
then, I mean,
clueless.
they were all
Oh,
like
they
25
probably
themselves.
have like kids in college already or something. Dude, yeah, dude. Yeah, like most of those people actors were like 25, so they'd easily be like 50 right now.
I mean, well, Paul Rudd. I mean, just to bring his name up again, he was on there. Paul
He
Rudd was
just
the
turned
brother.
he just turned 50 or something like that, right? Or
Yeah.
52? Wow. Jesus. You guy looks
Crazy
26.
stuff. Dude, yeah, no, he has good DNA.
Die Hard 2, 1990. I know that's going to hit you right there, Manny. Die Hard 2.
No, not my favorite Die Hard, but still good.
Also a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that one is not as argued because no one gives a shit.
That's the one with the the banana clip magazines, the red tape, blue tape on them.
Yeah.
Right? That was these are blanks.
Yeah.
That whole thing, right?
And then what's it called? John Leguizamo played one of the terrorists with the mercenaries.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Him in planes,
Yeah.
Con Air and everything. He just give me a plane movie. I'll do it.
And it's on my list because I like it. It's only 10 years old, but Tron Legacy turns 10. And that means we've had 10 years of rumors of the third Tron movie, which is never going to come out.
Tron Legacy, visually beautiful and all that, but I thought it was kind of boring.
I mean, well, it's visually stunning, and the music is so good that
the music wasn't it done by like Daft Punk or something?
Sure was.
Yeah. Huh.
Sure was. Anything else you guys want to mention? Talk about?
Nah, man. Those movies. That's it. You could pretty much hit the mark. So we decided that we're gonna do full episodes on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Back to the Future
trilogy, and there was one more.
Oh, and just honorable mention, just because it's another one that I really like, the Crybaby, 1990.
I don't think I saw that one.
Crybaby.
This week, actually. This week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, John Waters did that movie.
Nice.
Great.
Nice, that's nice.
That would be probably, April 6th, it says it was released. So that's probably the closest to this is, yeah.
So we have a couple of things we're going to talk about in the next episode. Manny and I will plan Back to the Future and Ninja Turtles for sure. You definitely want to I know you want to discuss reviews, give like either full in-depth reviews on Sonic and for
Birds of Prey.
You could even maybe do that on the website if you want to write them up.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I've had all these plans of, like, when this first the Safer at Home thing took place officially, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'll be able to just like work a little bit and then try to spend time with the family and but really work on my creative projects. But it's kind of hard to be creative in this time right now, don't you think?
I don't know. I mean, well, I guess it depends how much time you have. If you have a lot of time on your hands, because I'm seeing a lot of music art, like a lot of musicians, they're just kind of jamming out, Zooming or doing other things with like collaborations that way. I'm thinking in the next couple of years, we might hear a lot of music coming out of all these musicians just sitting at home, tinkering around.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know. I don't know, like people sometimes are like you're so consumed by with everything that's going on, like it's just kind of like it's exhausting, right? Like
Yeah.
the moment you get a little bit of free time when like the kids are in bed, you just kind of like want to just like lounge around and like just like drink and stuff and
No, I get it, but
That's what I'm
you
doing,
just
just
got
in front of a camera.
yeah, right. But yeah, but for example, like some of the other podcasts that I do, and I have to chop up and record and do this stuff. I also want to chill out and watch TV. I want to, like, because I'm still working and I'm busting my ass, and it's like I'm working more here than I was at the office, and it's just,
yeah.
you just got to find that extra energy, whether it's another cup of coffee or, you know, I'm working on another project involving my PS4 and, just like some fantasy stuff and
Yeah.
like for NBA, and I just wanted to mess with it and see what I can do and see if you can get some traction.
Yeah, and like I still have like 2 other shows that I'm doing.
Yeah. So
But then what's it called? I actually went ahead and started a screenplay that I've had an idea for, quite some time. So I'm actually about 10 pages in.
nice.
Surprisingly, right?
I'm
Yeah,
the lead. I just don't.
I'm 6'9",
no. The lead actually, this thing I'm writing is actually kind of like
for the lead.
it's kind of like John Carpenter and Sam Raimi having like a child, and then that child mated with the people who made Tales from the Crypt, but it takes place in the 90s, and my lead
This is a
character
creepy looking
and
kid.
and my lead actor is played by Jason Bateman.
So this is Ozarks in the 90s. No, I don't know.
But
I just watched an episode of Ozark before I
yeah,
recorded with you guys.
so if you can kind of get the vibe of what I'm going for here, yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Some
But
awkward
yes,
90s vibe.
yes, and it takes place in a radio station.
So you're talking about like
You're like, welcome
like
to
really glossy
the
black dress shoes and white socks, awkward kind of 90s.
No, I'm talking about like Tales from the Crypt, man.
All right.
Tales from the Crypt and Evil Dead combined.
So is this guy doing a radio show from a morgue?
No, but there is a cemetery and there's a radio station. So
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay.
All right.
Dead air.
Manny,
What is it
tell
called?
people where you can find us, please.
All right, guys. So if as always, you can listen to our audio on Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, Google Podcast, TuneIn Radio, and all that. But now we're actually on YouTube as well. So like at the same time that we're recording the audio for the podcast, we're doing video using Zoom, and we're gonna post that on our social media pages like Instagram, Facebook, and all that.
The
And
Facebook.
or the Facebook. And we do actually have a website, thenerdlot.com. So be sure to visit that because it's going to give you all the info of everything that we have going on. But also, because we're brand new to YouTube now, be sure to search the Nerdlot on YouTube and subscribe. Right. So if you don't have the time to, just sit and listen to our show because now you're not commuting as much. But if you have the time to just kind of like sit around and just watch, YouTube videos, then might as well check out our podcast via video. Right.
Yeah. Click
So
on
do
this
that.
link.
Click on this link. And
Somewhere, anywhere.
Right. Like and share and subscribe.
Yeah.
There we go.
There's
And
my
all
cat.
that.
Alex, tell people where they can find you, man. I know you're not on social media that much, but if you want some new followers, go ahead and tell people where they can follow you.
Yeah, I'm mostly just Instagram, and it's at Cool Lomeli.
Cool. Excellent.
One word.
Cool.
Yeah.
COOLLOMELI.
And
That
you
double
put,
L
Right.
gets people.
you're like, yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on, man. It was a lot of fun.
Actually, you want to come on board with our next one? What's the one we're going to do next? We're going to do Ninja Turtles or Back to the Future? Which one we're going to do?
I think we're gonna do Ninja Turtles.
All right, let's do Ninja
Yeah, I'd like
Turtles.
to dive back into that one.
Yeah,
because
and especially because it's on Netflix right now, I think it would be a good bet.
All right, let's watch it again. Even though I rewatched it again last week already, but I'll go ahead and watch it again.
I just
That
want
way
to see how much times I could see the people's faces in the mask.
That way I can get analytical as fuck
And
with this movie.
to be honest, and
Yeah.
maybe
Face count.
I actually know one of the guys who was Donatello, so maybe I can get him on.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
His
you can
name
get
is
him on, but just don't
his-
get him off, okay?
His name is
Uh,
Michelangelo. Believe me? Wow,
his
that's weird,
his
right?
name is actually Stephen Ho. You can Google him. He's a martial arts expert. He's been on Conan O'Brien a bunch of times. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, but Donatello was voiced by Corey Feldman, though, right?
Oh yeah, not the voice, the
Yeah,
action moves,
not
the
the
action moves.
voice.
You're
Right.
telling
Yeah,
me he
let's do
wasn't a
that.
turtle?
All right. Let's meet up. Let's meet up in about a week. About a week. Let's record a whole episode about that. Make sure we're completely blitzed out of our minds before we start recording, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Stay safe, everybody.
All right.
Love. Peace out.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.
Absolutely. Later. All right, guys. Nice job.
Yeah, definitely.
Awkward smile.
Ah.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Good night.
Wait.
What was up?
One. Do a shot for our promo for like the Instagram. We got to do something.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me Shift Command 3.
Ooh.
Shift Command 3. I'm gonna screenshot it. Okay, hold up your beers. All right, cool. I'll do that for promotion. I'll post it tonight.
It was a shout out to Edward Scissorhands.
All right, guys.
All right,
Have a good
y'all.
night.
You too.
All right.
Peace.
All right, guys. Take it easy, man.